podcast that diss the King of Sweden in some vague way off screen. We're such
Jesus.
bad boys. Somebody stop us. Oh, those pool boys. I'm Morbius.
I'm a vampire.
Oh, if only.
Not that kind.
Oh, God. Imagine if this movie had just been that, like a scene-for-scene remake of Vampire's Kiss.
Fuck, I'd have
Starring
been
Jared
happy.
Leto.
Yeah. Jared Horros.
Jord Lortor. Well, we continue our speaking of Jord Lortor, we continue our exploration of the very worst films of 2022 of a sludgy old fly into Sony Pictures' Marvel-ish movie, Morbius.
You need a doctor?
I am a doctor.
I should have died years ago.
People all over the world have my disease.
I'm here to find a cure. We have to push the boundaries, take the risks.
If you're gonna run,
Do it now.
Marvelish morass. Morbius.
Certainly a morass. There's certainly Miles Morales' sisters. So, the film was going to be generous and use the word directed by Daniel Espinosa, who previously made passable movies, Safe House, Child 44, and Life.
Oh. Not Life as We Know It. No, that was... Who was that?
Life as We Know It.
Yeah, the Oscar Isaac.
Life Itself?
Life Itself, okay.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember who directed that. Some guy who's nobody now. Less than nothing. Because he
Just
made Life
dirt.
Itself.
Yeah.
Actual human dirt. Which is unfortunate. Nevertheless, this is the guy who is very good at getting people to appear in movies that are somewhat below them. Although I'm not sure if that's true of Jared Leto.
On occasion, it's below, I think.
On occasion, he has managed to find something beneath him. It's also written by Matt Sazama and Burke Sharpless. Amazingly ironic name.
But also a very good, I funded and wrote my own movie name from the 50s.
Burke Sharpless presents a Burke Sharpless production. Well, Sazama and Sharpless previously wrote, they are threeman because they previously wrote The Last Witch Hunter and Gods of Egypt. Wow.
It explains a lot. Can we just be nice to ourselves and copy paste some of those reviews? Because I'm pretty sure we cover some of the points.
I'm pretty sure most of this is covered. Oh boy. But they are qualified for this superhero vampire movie, though, having written both Dracula Untold and the Power Ranger reboot.
Oh,
wow.
Vampires Abound, do they? I haven't seen it.
In Power Rangers, yeah. Power Rangers is the vampire one and Dracula Untold is the superhero one.
Dr.
Actually, genuinely, there's a bit of overlap there.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not surprised, nor am I mad at that.
You can't be mad at that, as the kids say.
I'm just mad at society.
Will this failure prove to be the stake in their hearts?
No.
Well, they're gonna write the Madam Web movie for Sony.
What's that?
Madam Web, she was like a chick who hung around with Spider-Man and gave him like weird visions, and now she's gonna be the lead in a movie, I guess.
Okay, cool. Look, I appreciate Sony's moxie and
what have we got left, guys?
Scrape it up and put it in a funnel.
Scrape it up and shovel it in a movie. Sony,
We're still trying
scrape it up and shovel it in a movie.
We're still trying to convince Tom Holland it's worth even showing up once.
Just once, if he could just come and see people. If people saw him. Oh, the legitimacy it would give us.
Oh, they're halfway here though, Paul, because just you wait till the end, guys, because we've got spoilers for you. Woo! Doesn't make any sense.
It's going to be a massive surprise for everybody, especially Michael Keaton, who didn't realize any of this was happening and is a very confused man in general. So, Morbius was actually due to appear in Stephen Norrington's excellent Marvel film Blade back in 1998, but he was cut, and then he wasn't included in Blade 2 because Norrington had left, and Guillermo del Toro is awesome. He's awesome.
It could have been called Stefan Dorpheus.
Do you want to include this in your movie, Mr. Del Toro? And he holds up a picture of actual just Jared Leto in this movie. And then he smashes his face in with a bottle. Oh my god. I thought he was such a gentleman in real life. His own face. That's the twist, yeah. He's a self-living man. Now, it doesn't look like Morbius was ever involved in that Sinister Six movie spin-off from the Garfield Spider-Man films that never happened. And so, yeah, it just sat idle until the Venomverse. Although, Jon Watts did express some interest in having him and Blade in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay, who's Jon Watts?
He directed Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, I think.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
Well, there you go.
Well,
yeah, no, it's not so much about the directors with the Marvel.
Yeah, it would have that I can see that being cool.
It would have. I like the idea that really it's just the case that in the MCU get first dibs on any of these weirdos. Hey,
yeah.
Are you guys using Scorpion? You can have Alistair Smythe. What? Exactly. If your first response when hearing the name is what, then yeah, you can use that.
Then that's a Sony. That's what we like to say at Marvel
That's a
headquarters.
Sony. Shovel it up and scoop it into a movie. Oh, Christ. Jared Leto gets involved very early on, but refuses to commit until he has approved the director himself. So he settles on the Safe House guy.
Yeah, he loves that work.
He loves that. I love that movie. It's his favourite movie.
Rips off his shirt. It's got a tattoo of it on his face. Why'd you rip off his shirt?
Why did you rip off his shirt? Why, Jared Leto? What's wrong with
already
you?
See it. Maniac.
Entire movie as well.
Oh,
All at once, overlaid every frame. Wait, you sure that's not just a mole? No. Wait, no, you're not sure? He's run away. He's run away before you asked that. Producer Matt Tomac said that Leto was bringing the same intensity that he had brought to the Joker in Suicide Squad. And he said that in 2018.
what?
In spite of all history.
Yeah, okay.
2 years worth of that not being an alright thing to say did not deter him. I'm pretty sure that went down well. I didn't read anything or, speak to anyone about it, but he had damage written on his head.
What?
It's great.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry for not giving you enough subtext. Gen Z, it's your fault for everything. You made me sick.
It's always your fault, and I need you all to accept that now. Or is it too cringe? We were using that word. It's not a new word. We were using it. We just used it in a normal sense.
Stop laughing at me, children.
Stop it. I could kill all of you, I think. I haven't checked the rules. So, here's a sentence to fill any cineast's heart with joy.
Okay.
Straight from the Wikipedia. By November, Box Office Analysis believed that Venom had been successful enough for Sony to move ahead with other films like Morbius. That was a passion project, huh?
Successful enough.
The spreadsheet proved that this was a viable economic option. Oh, this is my favourite economic option.
Where this summer, the next viable economic option from Sony.
It should recoup, says Sony. God almighty.
It will recoup, Mark Kermode at gunpoint.
It reminds me of the grimmest assessment that we ever got when I was at my charity. We're doing okay at the moment, but a few years ago we were not. And our lovely finance guy, Malcolm, is a big teddy bear of a man. He came in and just sort of said, he's quite posh, but in like a, I don't know, he's kind of lovable in a way. He's like he should be in Dad's Army is what he should be.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone loves that.
Nice.
Everyone loves that.
Yeah.
And he came in and said, so basically we will be here next year, but I'm not so sure about the year after that. It's like, yay, great.
Might as well make Morbius.
And yeah, Sony. We're definitely going to make at least one more of these. Director
Why?
Espinosa
What?
cited Pokemon as an influence on the portrayal of Mobius's powers. For those of you who can't see me doing that, the noise I would associate with the gesture I'm making is ooh, 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 ooh. What?
The fuck is wrong with you?
Does
that mean?
What sense does that make?
How?
Which bit of Pokemon?
The bit where he was a vampire.
The Game Boy Color bit, where you would use Haunter's like bite thing and a pair of teeth would appear on your opponent.
The bit where the bit where the DS broke and the screen smudged.
Oh yeah, when all the graphics leaked out of your DS. Yeah, this does look like that, to be fair. Oh god. Anyway, critics were surrounded by the stench of death so strong they could never be rid of it. Peter Travers, here we go, at ABC News. What's happened?
Peter Travers?
Where's the Rolling Stone? I need you at the Rolling Stone. I need you contained.
He came in to try and prop up the last vestiges of the Morrison government.
God bless him. Yeah, this is the Australian Broadcast Company, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Unless it's a different ABC.
I think it's the American ABC, of which there is one, I believe. I've heard it in American sitcoms. But importantly, the Australian Broadcast Castle produced the McAuliffe programme, so they're the ones that count. Anyway.
It's true. What's McAuliffe got to say about this? I wonder.
What?
We're all wondering.
Well, Sean McAuliffe had to say, this botched horror fest about the so-called living vampire is less deserving of a sequel than a stake through its heart. Well, it's definitely Peter Travers.
It's definitely Peter Travers 2.0, but same
You
man.
can change the brothel, but the product is the same.
You can take the stone out of the rolling and the Peter Trap, etc.
Yeah, etc. You can put that together yourselves, folks, and send in your submissions, and we'll, I don't know, send a prize to the most coherent one.
That's an outreach joke, so that's tax deductible.
Some of these jokes are do it yourself. So, yeah, Public, on the other hand, always found Dracula to be something of a romantic. Very original take there. Now, the Google reviews are a fucking insufferable madhouse, so I'm not going to go near them.
No way, you're joking.
Guys, wouldn't it be funny if we pretended this movie is actually really good? And what if I wrote like 1,000 words about how great it is? Yeah.
No. Why?
Do something else. But also a lot of
with your
people
time.
reviewing other movies there, like maybe Frankie Boyle told them to do it or something. Anyway,
okay, great.
I want this to be remembered, though. I want all of this bollocks to be remembered next time anyone tries to use any kind of internet-based public metric to generalize the reaction to a film. Remember, the internet is made of idiots.
There's many of the same letters. 2.
Exactly. At least 2.
At least 2.
Only 2? I'm not going to stand for that kind of talk in my house.
Also, I'm pretty sure there's a fallacy around, consensus. Just
in general.
Blaze your own path,
Blaze your own
Sheeple.
path through Morbius.
Blaze life.
Except us, of course. Trust us and go with our opinion.
I mean, trust us, but blaze your own path beside us. Like Tron.
Blaze your own path by doing everything we say. It's very original. Trust no one else is doing it. So, you'll be the first to do it.
There's always the first, yeah.
Thank God for Amazon verified purchase reviews, though, because these nerds aren't going to put any actual money up for this. Not for their memes. Not just 'cause it's going to cost them something.
We don't need your memes.
That's what
Amazon.
Elon Musk didn't appreciate, is that these idiots also broke. Anyway, Blader 900 on Amazon said, to describe this movie without dropping any spoilers, I would suggest Morbius has similarities to the blending of your memories of the films Venom, brackets Tom Hardy, Van Helsing, brackets Hugh Jackman, Dracula Untold, brackets Luke Evans, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, brackets Sean Connery, the Underworld movies, brackets Kate Beckinsale, who wasn't even in the third one, and the later Batman Dark Knight movies, no brackets.
Okay.
I was on board for most of those comparisons. It tailed off near the end.
As did my concentration. I can't remember why the comparisons were being made in the first place. That was too long a list. Reviewer.
Too long a list, mate. Rule of 3.
Please.
God, I think this podcast is made of idiots as well. I know I is.
It might be. I know Dirt Blot.
I know Dirt Blop. Oh, Jesus. We're very tired, everyone. I'm sorry.
Always tired. And I have wicked hay fever.
Wicked hay fever. And we love you so much, and we want to be our best selves, but I ate a whole pizza. And I didn't sleep much last night, and that's not a great combo.
Yeah.
I can't believe Pizza Go-Go offer it. No sleeping pizza, only $5.99.
No slipping. No vowels in it. No vowels, no slipping.
There's no vowel, so it can slide down the gullet easier. That's the Pizza Go-Go way.
Well, you don't have to eat a pizza to do that, Paul. You can just be allergic to the world, and then you wake up every 25 minutes to
You just
blow
be in your mid-30s.
Yeah. I was rocking this in my 20s, mate.
Oh,
I'm
mate.
ahead of the curve.
He's an old soul. Right, there's one more tedious bit before we can get around to talking about what happens in this movie, and that is the fact that there are so many multi-men in this one. They must be using the same casting agency anyway. Nick Davison and Nick Owen Ford and Jag Patel is a threeman. Just bit parts though, nothing important. We have a six-man in Clemso. Data, Nighter, you get the idea. After, why don't you use Clemso? After stretching our entire history. He was in Now You See Me 2, Doolittle, Crimes of Transphobia World, all the way back to Assassin's Creed and Jupiter Ascending. So he's been a mainstay. Yeah.
I love you, Clemso.
I love you, Clemso. And I will Clemso as well. I will claim so.
You claim me so well.
So get off my back, Doja Cat. Why don't you make the move? Michael Price is a seven-man after rubbish modern movies like Artemis Fowl, Doolittle, The Last Night, Men in Black International, The Crimes of Rowling, and Holmes and Watson.
But he's happy.
An impressive legacy of shite there. Also, similarly, Ben Colacho is a seven-man after appearing in minor roles in Hellboy, Men in Black International, Transformers, The Last Night, Doolittle, Now You See Me 2, and Burnt.
Wow.
But, look, forget about all that. All these bit players.
These bitches.
All these bitches. Let's talk about this bitch. Jared Harris.
Lady in the Water.
This beautiful bitch is now a threeman because of, Lady in the Water, and he had a weird voice. We think he might have been dubbed.
Whoa.
I feel like we watched it together, but it doesn't feel as old as year one. But maybe yes, it was. Yes.
Jesus. Paul Blart. I don't know.
Lost in Space.
Oh my god, yeah.
He played the old Will Robertson. Robertson? Yeah, the Robertson family. That's how it went.
Danger Wow Robertson.
It was named after Robinson Crusoe.
That makes sense now. Jared, sweet Jared.
Oh, sweet Jared, you're in the Hall of the Ancients now.
I love you, I do.
I love you, Jared. I love your great face. Your weird little eyebrows and your excellent voice. You look like your dad sometimes, and that's pretty cool. I love you, love you, love you, love you, Jared Harris.
Please come to my school in the past.
Why? I just think it'd be good.
So I could be there and he'd be like, I'm Jared Harris, and I'd be like, I have no fucking idea who you are.
Come meet my mates. All right, I will.
Oh, free to a man, free in the bush, free, yo. Films are shit, mate.
Morbius has 5.2 on IMDb, 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, 35% on Metacritic, and it's not worth reporting any public metrics because they've all been distorted by the meme merchants.
Yeah.
But in spite of being a famously massive flop, it did still manage to make 167 million on an 83 million budget.
Okay. Add $6 to that because I rented it.
You maniac, you absolute crazy motherfucker. I downloaded it from the Sky. That's right, I'm a Sky subscriber. I pay for all the atrocities that Rupert Murdoch does.
Yeah, look, I'm massively against everything Rupert Murdoch does.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They do the best AFL coverage.
How am I going to see Robin Romesh?
Oh, how?
I love them so much. They're everymen who also partake in the atrocities of Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll tell you this, though. One good thing about the memes that happened is they did manage to petition Sony to re-release the film, and then when it came out, nobody went and saw it again, and so they launched a second petition asking for it to be re-released released a third time, explaining that they were all busy that weekend. That's very good.
Third time's a Chorbius.
That's Chorbius. Oh god. Some of it is a bit mean though. The internet claimed that they mocked up an interview where Martin Scorsese said that he changed his mind on superhero movies after seeing Morbius.
Okay.
And Tyrese Gibson, who was in the movie, retweeted it thinking it was real, was some sort of thing like, "Oh, I'm so grateful," and it's like, dude, read the fucking interview. Read past the headline. They didn't mock up a whole article.
Oh,
come on,
that's
Tyrese
sad.
Gibson. It is sad. Come on. Everybody leave Tyrese Gibson alone.
He's been through enough.
He's been through enough. I don't know anything about him. He might be a bad
Nothing.
guy. I hope
Absolutely
he's
nothing. I hope he's well.
I hope he's well and a good guy.
Yeah.
So, Paul, you jacked up dumb shit.
Hello.
What's one thing about Morbius that gave you the overpowering urge to consume human blood?
I tell you what, Paul. There's a light show at the beginning.
There is actually.
The
and
production
the
logos and the end. And I really appreciated that. It looked a lot like Beyond the Black Rainbow or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it engaged me in a fun way. I like the colours.
I was engaged for the first and only time with the colours.
Yeah, I kept batting at the screen, trying to get at them, but it didn't work.
Please, just once, TV Daddy.
One day it'll work.
No. But until then, we have to move past the light show, past the light fantastic, and into a like a prologue sort of thing, like a tease sort of thing where Jared Leto gets off helicopter.
Helicopter. Well, I'm going to refer to him by his actual character name because I find it funnier, which is Michael Morbius.
Yeah. Doctor.
Hello,
Michael.
I'm Michael Morbius.
God.
Actual character name, and he's looking
Marvel
for some
world is cruel.
bats he can spend some time with.
Yeah, and he finds some.
Yeah, we can get right into the action. You know, he's clearly very sickly, and we clumsily established the fact that he's a doctor, so he obviously wants the bats in order to make himself less sickly. Let's go 25 years earlier.
Yeah, prologue. It's a prelogue.
I love a prorologue.
But never mind, Paul, enough of that shit, 'cause we've got to meet Jared Harris and realise that he's a good man. Anyway, enough about him. We won't need any more character building on his character, because nothing's going to happen around him. We meet young Michael Morbius, who meets young English child.
Yes, young Matt Smith, and he names him after
Nat Smith.
He names him after the first of a long string of dead children he's known. Oh, you
absolute cad.
They grow close over the scene, and oh no, he's in trouble. He's having some sort of heart-wrenching moment. Oh,
some
God.
life thing.
This friendship that we've seen flower is at risk. But luckily, Michael Morbius is a boy genius, so, he's able to fix the machine. And Jared Harris, who's also here, sends him off to Professor Y. Xavier's legally distinct school for good kids.
Yavier's. And, and what about Milo? I'll look after him. You know me, Jared Harris's character. We've done nothing but talk about me. Anyway, about you. And they whilst the director flicks madly through the script, we cut back to the present, and just after the bit we saw at the start of the movie, that's already going well. And Michael Morbius, everyone, don't worry about it, has graduated first in the world with sciences.
Yeah, and he's grown into a stupid-looking man. I've got no time for him.
Aww.
And he's got a big
I start to worry that I'm gonna feel ambivalent at worst towards Jared Leto in this movie. And
stupid man. So you this time.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of bats in his office. It's not very relaxing, and you can't use those instead of a personality, Jared Leto.
No.
You can't just have bats. You can't be the bat guy.
There is already one of those. I have no idea what you're talking about, says Marvel property.
Literally no idea.
Yeah.
But
he fails to hide the bats from his doctor friend.
Yes, he's got a doctor friend, and he shows off his bats to her, and then explains that he wants to use the DNA to try and fix himself.
Massively illegal, though.
You're pushing yourself too hard. Does our generous benefactor Milo know what you're actually doing here?
What am I actually doing here?
Remixing human DNA with bat DNA.
I have no idea what you're
talking about. Is anything ringing a bell?
No bells ringing.
Okay. Maybe this will jog your memory.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
It would be a cure. At what cost? Some dead bats? What's your issue here? I mean, we know he's going to turn into a crazy Batman, but you probably won't guess that. And what's the problem? You're a doctor. Use the bats to cure things. That's fine.
It is illegal, though, Paul, because...
Why? Exactly, because movie law.
Next scene.
He tries the serum on a mouse, which hilariously dies like a thespian. It literally just goes...
It's running around, pushing books off shelves.
Oh no! Well, is this the end of me?
Mousebius, Morbius.
Oh my God, he's got his own... I mean, that's true. He's presumably a vampire mouse because he does come back to life after a, oh my God, heartbreaking scene where they almost threatened the life of the little girl we saw in the previous scene briefly.
Yeah, but Paul, she was the kid from Dark Place for a bit, where she got to worship Michael Morbius, and that was great.
I must do everything I can. I love this child. It's this one. Oh.
Actually,
Are you sure?
I'm not sure about anything. Bats, everyone. I actually quite liked Jared Leto in that scene. So stupid man.
So yes,
yeah.
the hilariously dead mouth is alive this time, and it's time for human testing. Oh,
Yay.
and you'll never guess what.
What?
Little boy Matt Smith grew up into actual Matt Smith.
No way. We've been teased this more than once. I'm
This is
not
going
ready
to be
believe it.
hard to judge.
Just don't do something stupid and go and fall in love, because believe you me, there is absolutely no cure for that.
Says the guy who knows absolutely nothing about the subject.
Not true. I read about it in books all the time.
Books? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or romantic comedies. The point is, love is not on the cards for us, my friend.
Listen, if you start quoting The Notebook to me, I am going to stop and hobble very slowly in the opposite direction.
Oh, God. Well, he's been looked after by Jared Harris. Remember him and all his things? Anyway, I'm leaving,
I'm so
boys.
glad you're still here, Mr. Harris.
I'm off to think of fucking Mad Men. So he goes and does that, and and Jared Morbius and Matt Morbius have some conversation.
They
and
talk
they
about the doctor
things.
from the previous scene, and I think, oh shit, she's a love interest, isn't she?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Oh no. And
And
he
then-
says to him, I think I might have a cure. Are you with me? You know it, buddy. Great. Wait here. Oh.
Okay, cool. I mean, no. Oh, he's gone. So yeah, and then because this procedure is so illegal, they have to go and do it in international waters, 13 miles off the coast or something, with a bunch of scary men. One of whom was in Man with the Head from The Mummy, and
I love that.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they're not keen, Paul, on being paid to just sit and play cards and do nothing else. They have to go downstairs, and rough up a woman or harass a woman and find her funny.
Just sort of bother her a bit, piss her off a bit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Anyway, that ends.
I mean, Morbius is about
reason.
to kill them all, so we do need them to be unlikable so that we don't risk the audience's involvement. You know, we've got to keep them on side because this is a big brave boy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brave boy with a lot of big words and emotions, such as ah. They're all killed off in underwhelming ways.
Oh yay! The first action scene of the movie, and I remember this being an incomprehensible mess in the IMAX. But I was sat very close to the screen, so let's get a look at it on home media.
Yeah, I need to watch that again. You know when you read through a page, I didn't take any of that in. I have to read it again
because I was covered in jam.
Because I was screaming and my eyes bled out of my face. And Jared Lortor comes to having fed, and he's buffed Jared Lortor again.
Oh, no. It's worth pointing out, sorry, that the woman did get knocked out at the beginning of the fight, so she didn't have to witness anything too scary. Yeah. Oh, sweet princess.
She doesn't. I mean, I don't know why they bothered, because later when they meet each other on the bus, and she's completely surprised by it. She's not surprised at all. And this is when she thinks that he is a murderer of many people. So,
several men.
She's fine.
Yeah, he kills everyone in a big old pile of bollocks and then passes out. And he's all buff now and he has no memory of the attack, but when he watches back the security footage, he does realise he came off a bit worse than he remembered. Always away.
Time to release a shitty apology and move on.
I'm sorry that you were all killed.
International waters, mofos.
Oh, you can't get me for any of this. We do meet serious cop and comic relief cop. It's a wholly original concept and dynamic.
Well, we haven't had anything this good since that thing in San Francisco. 8 bodies running IDs right now, but apparently they all shop at the same mercenary supply store. One survivor, a Dr. Martine Bancroft.
Can we talk to her?
Now, if she wakes up, she fell down and hit her head, apparently.
Anything else?
Someone made a mayday call.
Not Dr. Bancroft.
Nope. It was a male. Didn't identify himself. Then wiped all the surveillance footage.
And he grew unconscious and jumped overboard?
It happens. Oh, and get this. All the bodies that you're looking at are nearly drained of their blood.
Oh my God. This was refreshing, Paul. This
was American Rickshaw.
This made Malignant look like Malignant.
Oh my God, I forgot about Malignant.
Yeah.
And so, they're cops.
Similar thing. And he was also funny in this one.
It's just as funny, if not as much. So,
if not exactly the same.
We rush through some scenes and we get to a montage of him exploring his new superpowers and his weaknesses. You see, he can turn into horrible video game CGI bollocks, but he also wants to drink blood quite a lot.
Yeah. But he became famous for making artificial blood.
Yes, he's got fake blood for now.
Yeah.
But that's going to wear off. Oh, Jesus, I can't wait to see that get resolved later in the movie.
It's going to become less and less effective, you know.
Oh, no. That's really a ticking clock on this whole thing. I can't wait for that to really dominate the third act as an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Milo comes to visit and, wants to share in all of his rubbish PS3 powers. But Michael Morbius won't let him do it. And it has, what's that? Oh, and he's done a fabulous job of inconspicuously hiding the serum away. You mustn't take this serum. Pointing at the serum he's just put into his pocket. Don't take it. But I want to be fucking ridiculous like you. No. Burden.
Please, I'm not going to explain to you just why you shouldn't do it. I'm just going to say it's bad and you definitely don't want it. Like drugs. You don't want drugs, right? Really want some drugs. You look fine. You look a bit gassy at most.
Yeah, just relax.
Yeah.
Oh no, a doctor at the hospital we've never met before. At least I can't remember her.
No,
I hope she ends up okay.
No, she was there earlier when Douglas Child was flatlining or whatever it is, whatever was happening to her. I don't know. I don't like children.
Such a memorable character, and now she's dead. Oh, I guess our hero really is out of control. Well, now I feel conflicted about all the cool stuff we've seen him doing so far.
Yeah. Anyway, guess I better make tracks. Guess I better just grab all the samples of artificial blood and walk out very quickly with my hood up.
Yes, he very subtly manages to give himself away by beating fuck out of two cops.
Yeah.
So, they arrest him. And oh god, is this the end of the life we've seen him build for himself? I feel so attached to these spaces that he's occupied.
Yeah.
The friends and family he has.
Yeah.
I'm so worried about him losing it all. Yeah, so Matt Smith comes to the jail and reveals that he did drink the serum, the very obvious serum, and he's the one who killed the nurse.
What?
I knew you could do it.
You took the serum even after I warned you.
Whoa, what am I going to do? Lay down and die? Thank you for the death wish, bro.
I tried to protect you!
Protect me from what?
Becoming a monster like me.
I don't think you're a monster, okay? I killed the nurse.
Oh my god! Oh!
This whole thing has shaken me to my core. On one hand, I can't believe Matt Smith is evil. I feel like I knew him so well, and this is just a complete, like, I can kind of see it because of, like, the seeds they had sown, but...
Yeah, you know.
But not Milo. But on the other hand, I'm just so grateful that, we've got Michael Morbius back as a hero, because I just couldn't believe that of him.
I couldn't handle that grey area, you know.
I know. The writers nearly lost me there, to be honest.
God, I couldn't handle the cognitive dissonance of a remotely flawed, I was going to say hero, but character in general. Anything like that. Anyone with any sort of negative trait just makes me feel physically sick.
Absolutely. So, I can't stand for it. I want to cancel them instantly. So
I did.
Morbius breaks out and bollocks his way across the city in pursuit of Matt Smith. And he catches up with him, and they have a terrible fight in a subway that just makes me absolutely pine for Underworld.
Oh, God. Don't... Whoa. Be... Serious words, mate.
I remember
I'm worried
actual
about
stunts and real things happening.
Oh, yeah. God, imagine.
It was the golden age. And yeah,
Matt Smith does a dance without the assistance of any CGI, and I go... and I come everywhere. And,
It's an actual thing that's happening. A ridiculous thing. And Michael Morbius figures out how to fly insanely.
Oh boy, that's what this was missing. So he goes away to supercharge his fly powers, his smashy powers.
Yeah,
and that
he sneaks up on Dr. Love Interest to be cute and then explain that he didn't kill her friend, which is nice. And then during that, he overhears some guys trying to use dodgy money at a counter. And luckily, or fortunately also, they happen to work in a lab.
Yeah.
It's very
They could just be calling it a lab, but it could just be a car.
that they fart in. Yeah. We've got another batch on the brew. Oh, I think we do. And then Morbius just follows them out there. I hear you've got a... Oh!
Look, we're sorry, mate. It's just an excuse for us to get out of our farty car.
We're just mates, mate. We're just having a laugh.
Who are
mates,
you? Mate.
Well, I wanted to beat you up and use your lab. Well, that doesn't make us the bad guy.
it is very stinky.
It's very stinky. I don't like this.
So he breaks one of their hands and sends the hoodlums on their way.
and uses the fart car as a lab. So he also confusingly says that he's Venom, which is very odd. In the trailer, he then says just joking, but not here. He just says he's Venom and that's it.
Because with the trailer, you need plausible deniability.
Look, this movie was 30 seconds over the allotted runtime. We had to.
It's only been 30 seconds since the beginning of this movie, and I tell you what, a lot's happened, but more is yet to happen. We've got Matt Smith has gone away to allow Jared Harris to die, and
Matt Smith did a little. Matt Smith also killed a bunch of guys and also did a little dance before he got ready to go out, which was lovely.
He loved his dances. That boy.
We all loved his dancing. He confronted Dr. Interest in order to just leave her alone again.
Bye.
And then later on, the two cops arrive at Dr. Interest's house, and one of them shakes the litter tray to try and lure out a cat, and then confidently announces, "Cat's gone." He didn't come running when I messed around with his shit. He must be gone.
When I, a stranger, barged into his lair and screamed.
I started messing with his toilet, and he didn't come out immediately. Cats love the sound of their litter being changed. They will always come to that.
My shark actually does. He
does.
Sees that
as
finally, guys, I can poop. It's in the past.
My cat would only stare at us while shitting. Otherwise, he had no involvement with that toilet. So, yeah, it turns out that she's moved into the fart car. So she won't be around.
Which it does look more and more like a bat cave as it goes. It was very well lit when he first moved in and broke that guy's hand. There's a darkness to him.
Though. They have some more Jared Harris money. So yeah, he goes and confronts Matt Smith and tries to get him to, be an actual character. And they have a scene involving acting. But luckily, CGI is stronger than acting.
Phew. No, come on, Matthew Smith. You know everything about me. All the reasons that I stuck with you. You know me, Jared, the J-Dog. Come on. You remember I told you my favorite meal.
J-Dog.
Honestly. J-Dog, come on. You know my favorite food? It's human excreta. I don't want to hear about it, Jared Harris. You're done. And he kills him, and we're all very sad because we all knew a lot about him and cared. And
oh, yeah.
You're going to miss his presence. Miss the 10 minutes he spent on film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And speaking of characters we really care about and are worried to see in trouble, he goes after Dr. Interest. And so Morbius flies through the air, for some reason emitting a weird purple gas. I think he's been in the fart car too long. He's become the fart car. So
now I'm fartless.
Oh no, though. Smith kills Dr. Interest, and in his grief, he drinks her blood. And then he has a dumb fight with Matt Smith. I genuinely forget that she doesn't come back to life at the end, by the way. I remember thinking, oh, well, they cop out of this like they do everything else.
No, she came back to life.
Oh, fuck me. I forgot that they didn't cop out, that they didn't not cop out of this.
I forgot that they copped out.
Genuinely couldn't give a shit, mate. So
she opens her eyes very briefly, and he's looking for her. End of the movie. Wow. Wowee.
Also, remember an hour ago when they said some weird thing about the bats liking Michael Morbius? Well, they come and help him kill Matt Smith. So he died the way he lived, with a ridiculous face. A stupid man.
Stupid Northampton man.
It's a very sad and poignant moment. Never mind that, though. We're nearly done, so crank the score. We need more bollocks on the screen. And then...
Light show. Pew, 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 pew.
90 minutes after it started, we roll credits.
Yeah.
Oh, just hang on, though.
Oh, what?
Remember that spell at the end of No Way Home? Well, we're saying that spell can do any old shit because Michael Keaton is here in this world now.
Wow!
And he
Amazing.
wants to... He really just inexplicably wants to team up with Michael Fartkar.
Yeah. And Michael, he likes the cut of his jib. He likes everything that he's been doing. Saving children and blood stuff, Matt Smith. And Michael Morbius is intrigued. He actually says he's intrigued.
Thanks for meeting me, Doc. I've been reading about you.
I'm listening.
I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think. I'm still figuring this place out, but I think a bunch of guys like us should team up. Could do some good.
Intriguing.
He says he's intrigued, and yeah, the 6 people I was in a screening with all file out.
Yeah. after screaming, "Why? Why, Morbius? Why? Why are you intrigued? What sense does that
what does it mean
possibly
for you?
make?
What are all of your values? None of that was expressed. So
yeah, I guess I could do with a guy who goes around stealing shit.
Yeah. I could do with a guy with giant robot wings. I can't fly. The end.
That's the end. And that was told in two. That was two mid-credit sequences.
Yes.
Didn't just do it in one complete scene. We were teased with Michael Keaton showing up.
Because just like the rest of this movie, why do one scene when you could rush through 5? What a ridiculous film. But you know what else is ridiculous?
What?
These advertisement. These advertisement.
Gimme.
And that's what the fundamental problem is with... Oh, mate, I've got to go shave my balls again. Sorry.
Oh,
I can't believe I have to do this so many times a day.
If only there was a simpler way than starting a house fire and diving into it.
Balls first, in the hopes of singeing off the hair. And yet that's my reality. So excuse me for a moment. Slunk, 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 petrol can.
Hang on a tick.
What?
What the fuck is that?
Match in my hand. What is it? What is it, mate?
That thing over your shoulder.
What? Oh, that's the sponsorship deal for Manscaped.
We should probably look at it.
Okay. Oh my god, it's the answer to all of my problems. Oh, I dropped the match.
That's right, Paul. Because, as he is about to find out, Manscaped is the best in men's downstairs grooming, fixer-upping, even selling for a profit, if that's the kind of thing you go for. You know what? You don't even have to be a man.
Flip those balls.
Burn them. Or don't. Because you know what? You don't even have to be a man or have a horror show down there. Guy, girl, or non-binary, you're going to benefit from the performance package just like more than 7 million men and their double number of smooth balls. And if you want to be one of those beneficiaries from old Uncle Smooth Balls, then you can, because Manscaped are offering 20% and free worldwide shipping with the code OGTPOD at manscaped.com.
Unbelievable. And I suppose with that sort of thing, well, it's the kind of thing where you might be able to get the performance package 4.0.
Well, I'd imagine so.
Well, what would the benefits of that be? What? Getting the Lawnmower 4.0, a waterproof and also 4,000 LED spotlight having thing in order to precisely shave your balls. Thing, it says. Thing is what it is. Would you get that? You probably not. Probably wouldn't also get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, a cutting-edge ceramic blade being used in order to reduce grooming accidents, thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology, both of which are waterproof. You wouldn't be getting that sort of thing. Nor would you be getting the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, or the Crop Reviver Toner, or the Performance Boxer Briefs, or the travel bag to put it all in. Oh, now, hang on a minute. You would get all of those things.
Oh, you would get those. Just to be clear.
You'd get each one. All of them.
For contractual purposes, to be clear, you do get those. All of those in the Performance Package 4.0.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's amazing as stated before in the hearings of the previous advert. We have been long-time advocates of shaving those balls. We've gone the whole route from the whole route. It's not a word that I say from where I'm from. We go the whole. We've gone the whole gamut of smooth balling exercises, from setting a house fire in houses that you've just broken into to record advertisements, to using hair clippers or scissors if you're just looking for a little trim, and none of it's good. If you're always looking for a little trim and then a big trim, and then you cut your balls on some shitty old hair clippers, but not anymore. I've been using the Manscaped. I've been using the Manscaped. Yep, I've been using the Manscaped lawnmower trimmer since it fell into my lap, because we have a very, very personable postie. I've been getting down and dirty, intimate with it. I've got one leg up on the bath as the shower's running, and do you know what? My balls are smooth, and everybody knows about it because I can't stop yelling about it when the shower's on or off.
Or off. Windows open. If you're in a school, no matter what, you're always yelling about it, and now it's time for you to yell about it too.
I have used the ball deodorant. I've got to say, I've used the crop toner, and I spritzed as well, all thanks to Manscaped. And if you want to be one of those smooth balling, scrotal spritzing winners, then you can at manscaped.com just by using blah, 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 fuck. And you can get free worldwide delivery, and you can get 20% off of your order and free worldwide shipping with the code OGTPod at manscaped.com.
Oh, amazing. Manscaped, a better way to ball. This is one of the least substantial movies I think I've ever seen. It's like every single scene is Jared Leto walks onto a set that has been built where there are characters who are ready to do a scene with him. They do a quick rundown of what should happen in the scene, and then that was what they included in the movie.
Yeah.
They never actually got around to filming a scene there.
Yeah, so I figured that would be your issue with it, and it's certainly an issue, that it's bollocks, yeah. Insubstantial. And what I had whilst watching it, and after, even now, today, is I watched and viewed it in the greater context of, you know, like Sony in DC. And I was thinking to myself, this isn't annoying me. The action scenes obviously are, because it's just meaningless, smashy Superman and Zod levels of stuff, and there's no narrative, no order to any of the fight scenes, completely insubstantial. But I wasn't annoyed, and you know, actually, I thought Jared Leto was fine. I actually quite liked his buttoned down performance when he was frail Michael Morbius at the beginning, especially. And that feeling of underwhelm and not being irritated was just present throughout the entire movie. And it was mostly because they didn't take any risks on comedy, which is what usually makes these movies so egregious for me. But then it's a case of not taking risks on anything, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's why I was so irritated by it, is because it just, the lack of effort that it represents is simply staggering and almost insulting, really. Just what they consider to be the bare minimum of what they could do to just make a movie. There was not an ounce of passion or enthusiasm anywhere in this thing. You know, even something like Ghost Rider, you know, the original film, you could still get the impression that this is a character that Nicolas Cage cared about and wanted to make good. But here, it's just so cynical, and everything is so insubstantial. Yeah. It just, it really irritated me that there was just absolutely no effort to try and make something that people would feel passionate about here. It felt like it was just occupying space and time, and that, felt like a real insult. It was very irritating.
You look at The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the death of Emma Stone. Is it Gwen Stacy?
Yeah, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. You know, her death, it really hits. It's very well done. And
it's a moment with a bit of vision to it. It's a moment where they try and have a stylistic moment. Everything here is so cookie cutter and just the same. It just feels, well, Jared Harris is the mentor, so he has to go. The love interest has to be in danger, so there we go. Yeah. And they just managed to get it. It's like their directive was, okay, we need to get through this movie without ruffling any feathers. We just need to make a movie that isn't hated in the same way that some of our other movies have been. And like, I'm thankful that I wasn't as annoyed as I was when watching some shitty Sony movie or DC movie with comedy that I just find obnoxious. But at the same time, being so underwhelmed that I feel nothing is, like, categorically as bad. It's just didn't provoke enough of a visceral reaction in me. It really, I felt aggressively bored both times that I saw it. The lack of a good sense of humor is actually something that I felt was really an issue here, because, I mean, if you look at the scenes of him and Milo sort of bonding, I mean, the fact that it's kind of amazing, because I was thinking about the first action scene, because I remember that being a big point of me just turning off when I was in the cinema.
Oh yeah, it was the first point. It was the point in the movie where my brain switched off.
I was uninterested before then, but that was the point where it was like, oh wow, I'm going to get nothing from this. This is an action movie with really poor, irritating action. I'm literally going to have nothing to enjoy here. This is just going to be a slog, and that's a very dispiriting moment, and it's annoying how frequently it happens in modern action movies. That you're just like, is this one got good action? No, okay, that's fine. So it's like most of them. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool.
So, but I remember, like, if you count the scenes building up to that first action scene, There's only about 8, and each one is so expository.
Yeah.
And so just perfunctory.
Yeah.
That you just wonder why this whole thing was done. You know, it does feel like they are just literally trying to put pieces on the board in order to set up some sort of later, you know, maybe they are trying to do Sinister Six. Yeah. Like even Venom felt like it had a more coherent thing that it was offering as an alternative to superhero movies. This reminded me of Black Adam, which is to say that just nothing. It's a void. It is a void of cinema from which nothing unique, special, or interesting is happening. It will be thoroughly forgotten in time.
Everyone just needs to take a step back and take a breath and stop making film. You know, it's hard because it's hard for me, I mean, personally, because, you know, at a point where I'm very fatigued by Marvel and comic book movies, and have been for a while. And Morbius coming out is just so, it's just the complete epitome of my jadedness around all this at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, a more perfect movie couldn't have come out to symbolize how jaded and bored I am by the whole thing.
Do you know what's really interesting? I'm suddenly really, really rooting for Avatar 2. It's really weird. A year ago, I'd have thought, oh no, not the Avatar thing. I'm so annoyed that James Cameron is making this happen. But it's not a superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's a big space epic. And of course, we have Dune. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so grateful we have Dune. If Dune 2 doesn't do well, I'm literally going to hurt people. Well, Avatar 2 is on its way, and it's probably going to make a lot of money, and it will bring back 3D, which is very irritating. But it's and it's going to be overly CGI, which I hate. But also, it'll be different. Maybe it'll look different and feel different to all these horrible Marvel superhero. Well, not just Marvel, just superhero movies in general that we've had in these past few years. And I just want change. I think a change is as good as a rest.
I think so.
I think I just want to change.
Funny you should mention Dune, because we actually watched Dune last night after watching Morbius.
Oh my god!
And we were just thinking, you know, you see Duncan Idaho is on screen for about as long as Jared Harris is.
Yeah.
He's not in there for long.
Yeah.
But within one scene, you already have such a better sense of who he is. And it's not because loads of exposition is loaded in or loads of personal information about him, just in the way he interacts with Paul. It just immediately gets the job done. So that when when his scenes come later, you do care, and you find yourself going, please no, not this time. And it's just amazing what a couple of small. It's just, you know, a million tiny things.
Yes, and that's script and acting there working in partnership to deliver, you know, interesting and exciting characters. Looking at this purely cinematically, you can see such a contrast as well. Yeah, just when a scene starts in a good movie and you just have a sense of what that scene is trying to achieve and how it's going to use pacing and the aesthetic, the lighting, and the mise-en-scene to realize and achieve that effect. And here it is literally the case that it's like, I always wondered what a movie would be like if it had no director. And I think this is it. They lit the scene so you could see everything. They put the camera so you could see the thing that you're meant to be seeing. Yeah. And they shot it. As it was written in the script. There is no vision. There's no attempt to build tension or, you know, have, you know, a menacing feeling or an exciting feeling or anything. It's just, oh, the script says he flies across the city, so we'll show him flying across the city. There we go. Done.
There you go.
Tick.
What's the problem? I did it.
You could see it. You can see that he flew from one part of the city to another. There you go.
There you go. What more do you want? To be moved?
That's what it says. Yeah, some sort of visually interesting, arresting, or engaging way of expressing that.
When we're watching Dune last night, right? And I might have said, and the exposition, the expository stuff where Paul is sitting on his bed and he's watching the holotapes.
I love those things. Yeah,
he's
such
sitting.
Neat bit of world building, those tapes.
He's in this beautifully lit room that conveys the depth of it, and it's so beautifully designed. He's sat like sat against the headboard of his bed or the wall or whatever. And
yeah. And this is back on Caladan, isn't it? So it's kind of like the warm, cozy feeling of home before he goes to Arrakis.
Yeah. And but he's also doing it in Arrakis.
Yes, but in Arrakis the light is orange and it's a larger, less intimate room and it's more grandiose. Yeah.
But
so
it's still
it's contrast. You're actually doing things.
Yeah, but still beautifully designed, and you get such a sense of the depth and the isolation of the place in it, and you are given perspective by like spatial perspective of him sitting at the back, one end of this room, and Morbius.
Place.
Yeah, and Morbius really, for all the sets that they used, it was as lackluster as the prequels.
Yeah.
Set up a green screen background and have people walk down a corridor. It was that level of non-engagement for me.
Well, I mean, speaking of, Norrington and crew, compare the space he takes over to, let's say, Blade's hideout in the first Blade.
Yeah.
The quality of that being an actual location. And yes, it's lived in because it's Blade's actual home. And that's another thing, is you get no sense of how much time passes in this movie. At one point, someone says it's been a hell of a week.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you could have said a day or a year, and I'd have believed it.
Yeah.
But it's just such a soulless environment. You never get to spend any time anywhere to actually learn the place.
No,
and
exactly.
That's also exemplary of the characters. You just don't spend enough time to actually feel like you're living with them. You're just racing from one scene to the next.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Well, should we talk about some good things then?
Let's talk about some good things.
Okay.
Let's see if we can turn this around.
I have some.
I have a few. Quick fire. Oh, yeah, so let's talk about that beginning, because the sound over the production logos made it feel like we were watching an actual movie. Like, I remember the opening moments of score feeling a bit like, ooh, okay. And then you get those triangles, those brightly coloured triangles, which are very weird and very 80s and very out of place, frankly, compared to the rest of the movie. But, yeah, I liked them.
Yeah, that was great, and I wish the rest of the movie had such a distinctive color palette or look or feel or anything. I liked young Michael Morbius, the child. It's always impressive for me when I'm not cringing at a child actor, but in this, when the child actor managed to deliver the poor dialogue in a believable way, that says a lot to me.
Hello.
Hello, Milo.
My name's Lucian. The person who was here before was Milo.
No. He was also the new Milo. Before him was the other new Milo. I don't even remember the first Milo.
How long have you been here?
As long as I can remember.
And you're still not cured.
There's no cure. There's something missing from our DNA. Like a piece of a puzzle. And until they find it, the only way to stay alive is an oil change 3 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty likable kid.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, well, let me jump to the next part of the movie I like. So after he's gone to jail and then Matt Smith is outside, this is like an hour in, he has a confrontation with a newsstand guy, which again we barely get to see because we're just cutting all over the place and we're like with Morbius up in the sky and it's madness.
Oh yeah,
but at least we do get to see a little bit of Matt Smith's menacing performance.
Yeah.
Saying to the guy who runs the newsstand,
you shouldn't judge someone by how they look. Didn't your mother teach you any manners?
Take me, for example. I may look harmless enough.
You think I'm joking?
It's quite good. He's doing a good job of being menacing, and we all know how menacing he can get, having watched House of the Dragon and Terminator Genesis.
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon.
Is he in? He's in One Night in Soho, isn't he?
Last Night in Soho. Yes, he is. Yes, he plays the bad guy.
One Night in Soho, the
worst man. Yeah. The porn film starring Soho Jones, which is me. I'm Soho Jones.
Subscribe, everyone. Paul Jared Harris is lovely. He's still lovely.
Of course, yes. He's got those eyebrows.
He's got those eyebrows, and in the scene when he's telling Matt Smith how much he cares about him, and that he was always
that's what
he was always there for him. It was still it was like I felt it in that moment when Jared Harris was saying it. I just, needed the rest of the movie to show, me and help me get on board with that.
I can't sleep. I can help you with that. I've been more than a friend to you all this time, Milo. And I'm going to stay here with you. But there will be no more violence, understand?
That doesn't do it for me. I should have known you always take his side.
Well, tell me your side then, Milo.
Michael doesn't accept what he is, Nicholas. I'm going to make him accept it.
By ruining his good name.
See? There! There you are! Perfect Michael, selfless Michael, Michael the favourite!
Oh, don't be childish, Milo! If anyone has a claim to being my favourite, it's you. I've devoted my life to you.
Liar.
Yeah, set it up in their childhood scenes. Just
yeah, a bit more, just a bit more.
Yeah,
not just have him come around the corner late to watch Milo getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah. Well, I'm sticking with Matt Smith, and I'm gonna have his rubbish little dance in the subway. I mean, both dances are amazing, but I'm gonna hold on to the second one. This one is just, what the fuck is it? How do you describe it? He kills a bunch of people, and then he sort of trots forward whilst rolling his fists. And then freezes, and then does it back again.
Yeah, there's a proto moonwalk in there. I say proto, I don't mean proto, but it's
a neo moonwalk.
Yeah,
well after.
It's a moonwalk. And he there's a bit of moonwalk physicality in there, and I really enjoyed it because it was one moment when one of the characters wasn't just covered in smoky CGI.
Oh Christ!
And it made me laugh. It genuinely made me laugh.
Yeah.
I liked the skinny, pale, gentle Michael Morbius when he was with the child at the beginning. I thought there was just something about him quietly doing his work, and his interaction with the kid was, it was overwritten, but it still felt kind of natural to me. And I think I don't watch as many Jared Leto movies as you do, Paul, so I don't get the sheer glut of the man.
No, I just genuinely don't remember it. I just found him so stunningly boring in this.
Oh. Yeah, look.
Stupid man! I'll say this, in the subway scene, where Matt Smith has his horrible CGI face on, and he's running in slow motion as fast as he can towards Morbius.
Yeah.
And what the movie is trying to do is communicate the idea that he's learning how to fly through some ship method. But there is something perhaps inadvertently really eerie about that image. The stark contrast of the mundanity of the surrounding and the flat lighting. There's no moodiness to this lighting. It is just lit, like it would be if this guy actually walked onto a subway train. Yeah. Down onto the platform and came after you. It's just flatly lit. He's got this huge face. He's got a regular, boring suit. It had this ridiculous unrealness to it that was kind of uncanny, as if you were seeing what it would be like if a terrible CGI guy was actually coming after you.
Yeah, okay.
And it had a menacing quality that I actually took me by surprise both times I watched it.
Cool. That's good.
I'm not sure how intentional it was, but I liked it.
But, so much of art is subjective, Paul.
Oh my God.
And, much like just my state of being. People can't seem to pin me down. Physically or, academically. So, couple of things that were gross, or looked painful. The spinal injection. That looked gross.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That did look gross.
Yeah.
I hate the idea of spinal injections.
Yeah.
You don't put things in there.
That's for walking.
That's for Christopher Walken.
He'll need it soon. And also when Michael Morbius is morbing his way back to the lab, and he's running out of his artificial blood, and his legs buckle twice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The buckle looked really painful. And it caused that reaction in me of, ooh, that's not the direction that goes. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Good stuff. Brilliant.
Oh, good.
Right, my penultimate one.
Okay.
When he's flying over the city, and, there's loads of CGI bollocks everywhere. There's a little bit of CGI bollocks that's sort of pulsating out like a heartbeat. And it's, again, you know what? That and my previous moment of him with his horrible-looking face, it's because the movie slows down for, like, the only times.
Yeah.
As he's flying over the city, we actually slow down and we get a moment.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that excellent moment in The Dark Knight where he's flying around the building in Hong Kong and he does all the exciting stuff. You know, he shoots the explosives on all the windows and then he jumps and it's dan, 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 and he flies and he soars. And then there's just a moment where the score kind of drops out and all you hear is the wind rattling his cowl as he sort of continues to glide.
Jowls. Yeah.
Just for like a couple of minutes, and it's not a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds. It reminded me of that. It's just kind of cool, and it makes you feel the gravity of the moment. So yeah.
Well, look, the other time, the time that I was fine with the use of CGI around his echolocation, when he's practicing it, trying to figure it out, and he's throwing the ball. He throws the ball and closes his eyes, and we get a close up of his face, and then just these little fluorescent flashes of blue light that signify he's using echolocation to figure out where the ball is, and it's just it's just one moment, and it's slow, and you just think, okay, that's interesting. That's his echolocation at work, and it's got a texture. And I enjoyed that. And then as soon as he catches the ball, it's got, like a flaming red trail and it just looks like nonsense again. But the moment with his eyes shut and this sort of massaging of the air around him was kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's something just about him resetting his timer after drinking blood. I don't know. I like the detail there. It was kind of cool. It was this film's Leo catching the shells.
Forever the exemplary moment of detail in film.
There's nothing else like it, mate. Listeners at home, if you've not seen Nolan, I highly recommend it. He's probably, he's
Have you
probably
heard of this guy?
The greatest filmmaker. Full stop. Yeah. So when Morbius is doing his "I'm Batman" thing, when he's standing in the cylinder of bats, and they're all like, he holds out his arm.
I'm Batman. That's the line read.
Yeah. What's my motivation in this scene? You are Batman.
You are Batman, but no, everybody's saying you're not Batman. I'm Batman.
But you really are I'm Batman.
Guys.
So he goes in, and there's a voiceover of him being like, "Bats love me." Hey everyone, fucking check this out. And he holds out his arm. And some of them land on his arm, and it looks like they're giving him bat hugs, and it's lovely. It's very cute.
I'm just thinking of Philomena Kunk as Morbius now. I came back from the Atlantic with a few surprises. Bats love me, and I can hear really good.
Bats love me now. Okay. Yeah. Another line from Matt Smith.
You have to stop denying who you are. It's boring. We can go anywhere. We can do anything. Let's go.
There's just something about the way you are. It's boring, flows without without a pause. It's a good Matt Smith delivery.
Yeah, delivery.
Deliveroo. Oh, that's a thing. When the completely original cops are chasing Dr. Bancroft interest. I'm gonna have to work on my words. Work on my will. She ducks into a newsagent and says, "Oh, cover for me," to the newsagent. And when the cops run in and they're like, "Where did she go?" he just gives the most dismissive shrug. It's fun. It was excellent. It was just, you can't come around here and fucking police my shop. I'm the cop of this shop.
Police my chops.
Yeah. Oh, police your chops, mate. And okay, two more.
No,
I can't take it. When Jared Leto has met up with Dr. Interest in the little cafe, that does look like a rubbish greasy spoon in London.
They did film some of this in Manchester, so.
And the underground scenes are London Underground.
Yeah, and also that corner shop they run through looked super like a British corner shop.
Yeah. So they just no.
I can see whispers.
No. Everyone in London will know, but no,
fuck them.
And whoever cares about them, they don't care about us. It's true.
True.
Anyway, they're in this cafe, and she offers him a cup of coffee, which is like lit by a bit of sun. And he pretends to get his hand burnt and goes, "Oh, not that kind of vampire." And it was quite an. I found it charming.
Okay.
It was kind of a human moment, which was good. And
but he's a vampire.
What? Nobody told me. And then
the
finally,
premise.
when Milo Smith is attacking Jared Harris, and Jared Harris goes,
"What's the matter, Nicholas? Is Daddy cross?"
Settle down.
No, come on, let's go and have a drink together. Come and celebrate with me, please. Just one drink.
Milo, you're scaring me. Please, just calm down.
And I wasn't expecting him to just be vulnerable and honest.
Oh, yeah.
About being terrified by this horrible vampire man.
He's a horrible vampire man.
He is a horrible vampire man, and the horrible vampire man. And nobody says that enough, but I'm saying it now. And I just want to thank Jared Harris. Thank you, Jared Harris, for shining light on that important topic.
This opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the last one is Matt Smith's dance.
Oh, yeah, okay. That was great.
It's fucking incredible. The music is a wild choice.
Have sex, excel. Put my hands against, put my best against, put my 10 a 10, or put my spend a spend. Have sex, excel.
It's a perfect bit of music for how weirdly muscular he is, but like lumpy muscular, and then his weird little movements that emphasize his sort of wobbly tits. It's really interesting. It's a very chubba lubba kind of song. It just has a slappy kind of bouncy quality to it, and then he's doing these weird little dance movements.
Yeah.
Like beckoning people on to him.
Come on, everybody!
Oh, come on! It's fun time. Slap, 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 slap.
I was the doctor,
It's just very strange. Yeah. Very strange, Matt Smith in it, and Daniel Esposito, or whatever your name was.
Very strange man.
Very weird choice, and I can't believe it was Matt Smith singing the song.
Oh God, he insisted on it. It's like I've always wanted to do a song in the style of Shaggy. And people keep saying no, and now I'm famous.
Of course, the irony is, if you ask him now if he made the song, he'll say it wasn't him.
And everyone laughs and carry him out. And then you got to find him again.
And have a bit of a old tickly tit.
Speaking of tickly tits.
Yep.
What about the OG teams?
What about the OG team and their tits? Let's find out.
Okay, well, going over to Patreon first.
Yeah.
Okay, so Luke Ciancio, hey Luke, says, "Oh boy, that was a time. Good things. Oh, yes. Number 1, Jared Harris's gravitas. That's a good vocal warm up. the malice in Paris is equal to Jared Harris's gravitas. He had real presence and care in his role, particularly in caring for the sick children early on. Number 2, the area where Martine died had some cool smoke effects, lighting, and vents that reminded me of the Spider-Man video games. Now, Martine, the nurse, the Dr. Bancroft?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay,
Got
cool.
interest. Yeah.
Number 3, everything from Morbius summoning the army of bats to him finally killing Milo actually connected with me. There were nice callbacks to the start, the music made sense, the visuals looked cool, and I felt the emotion of the scene. And then it was gone. And then also, the bats flying and flitting around did look cooler than the previous smashy down the building. So I'll give you that. Sure. Stupid
Absolutely.
Man.
Stupid man.
I was doing the impression of Paul calling me a stupid man. Not that wasn't me calling Luke a stupid man. I think Luke.
No, not at all.
The brave person.
He's a brave and
for trying to interact
man.
with us.
And God bless him for doing that. It's never worthwhile.
As this is proven. Also, he finishes, it's nice to see a Jen and the Film Critic 1-star rated film crossover to this podcast. Did you have the joy of rewatching this?
Sorry?
Did you have the joy of rewatching this, sir?
I sure did. I didn't stick to one watch like I did for Don't Worry, Darling, because we couldn't find it anywhere. No, I absolutely watched this again, and it was, a joy to behold. Glad to hear you had that investment and those moments there. It's just, not something that I was able to share, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And for that, I am weaker.
Thank you, Luke. Over
we are beholden to you, sir.
Over we fuck to the Musk first now. What's happening on Twitter, you say? Argentina versus Australia, Brendan Fraser, Padme, hashtag Keanu Reeves, and Cum Dog trending in Australia there.
Cum Dog, great.
Yeah. So,
God bless Australia.
Whilst we all take a step back to try and imagine what that could possibly be and who they're praising in Australia, BT Calloway says, I like the bit where he morbs and all the henchmen run screaming because they've never seen anyone morb like that before. Such great morbing.
Oh, there's morbs.
And I gotta say, I love the morbs on that man. And Christopher Bond replies, morb. And I agree.
So many morbs.
Oh, moving over to the metaverse now. Fuck, we live in a dark time. Jennifer Soanes, the one shining light in our darkest of times, says, Jared Harris is a threeman. I'm sure he brings something special to the role. And that suggests that you have not seen it, Jenny. And well done, you.
Well done.
You're better than us.
I mean, something you have in common with most people.
Yeah. Would have been me until 24 hours ago.
That's the joy of this podcast.
And I was such a happy, chipper kind of scamp before then. So
you were scamping.
Yeah, scamping around. I understand, she continues, that Matt Smith knew what kind of campy movie he was in from what I know of his performance. He even has a dandy scene to rival Harry S. in Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh, yeah.
A dance scene. A dance scene. Sorry,
yes.
It was a typo, and I thought it was a dandy.
I was not able to revisit the Harry Styles dance scene from Don't Worry, Darling. I remember it being very special. But yeah, at the moment, Matt Smith sets a very high bar to beat.
A dangerous new precedent that we can all get on board with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, OG Team.
Thanks, OG Team. You're all wonderful.
You're all not boring.
None of you are boring or horrible, stupid men. You're all excellent people. You're the Jared Harrises of our lives. Speaking of which, let's talk about the one better thing. The one better thing.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to say Blade. You watch Blade. Blade's really good.
No, you watch Blade. We've had Blade a few times. Blade's still really great. Watch Blade. Watch all the Blades.
Janky CGI with people fighting in it. And that looks good. Morbius didn't have a crystal method.
No, it didn't. No, I think Blade holds up really well and is a very good film. I'm going to go for a bad movie. I'm going to go for a better bad movie. It's Underworld, the Len Wiseman movie. Written by Danny McBride. Not that one. I had to quickly check.
Oh, not the one who wrote Halloween Kills.
No, a different Danny McBride. Underworld. It came out when I was 15. Felt like a big deal at the time. Very much post-Matrix. Very goth. I remember bonding very closely with my teenage goth girlfriend over this movie.
Yay.
And yeah, it's a fair amount of fun. But more than anything else, it's a bad movie. But it puts in so much more effort than Morbius did, and it looks so much better, and there are actual sequences that are exciting, fun, or interesting.
What?
Even in spite of having so many similar weaknesses in terms of its, character, acting, plot. It still manages to be vaguely compelling because it offers a look into a world into which you might imagine better stories.
God, just go ahead and imagine that.
Go and imagine them. Each one. And that is the one better thing. The one better thing. So, Paul, how can people find out more about all of this? All of this!
Well, I know...
How can people find out about our fart van?
Okay, well, Twitter and Facebook are about at that level nowadays. Some would say they've been there forever, and now the smoke is clear. We realise it's not dry ice, it's
fart car.
It's wet farts. And and I guess we can all just bask in that, soak it in by unlocking the door, by jimmying the lock, and then when you get inside, take a breath if you dare and mist up the windows, and then you just write OGT pod, and so people will know if they go to Twitter and Facebook and type that in, and probably find us talking about things like how to support us financially, such as our Patreon.
Finally!
I know, finally. It's the bread man's coming. That's not a thing. Not that way anyway.
I'm the bread man.
And I've already come. And it's not in the bread. Oh, why'd you say that, bread man? Now it makes me think it's in the bread. Didn't do it in the bread, in any of the baguettes.
None of the bread.
But whilst you're chomping on that soggy bread, you can think about, you can give us some money for that image at patreon.com/OGT pod.
Pay us to do more of this.
To talk about coming in the bread that you're definitely eating. And yeah, we have loads and loads of extra stuff. Hundreds, if not trillions of hours of exclusive
Hundreds
content.
of stuff.
Yeah. Hundreds of bits and...
Bobs as well.
Hundreds of bobs, hobnobs of bobs, and bobnobs of dobs. And
Horlorbs of knobs, and that's all that really matters.
All of that for $1 a month or more.
Unbelievable.
I know. Pretty good.
I'm poor Jord Lortor.
I'm unbelievable.
And remember, the one good thing about Morbius is the bit where Matt Smith gets his kit off and does a bit of a dance.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Love that.
What a dumb film.